I've got a small confession to make when it comes to this video, because I'm recording this just now just in case the video turns into something completely different. I originally come down to record the video on focusing techniques, and the conditions have been so good that I ended up just shooting. So I may not get the focusing techniques over in this video, and if I don't, it's just been a photographer's playground. It's been absolutely brilliant. It's been one of those days when you come out just to see what everything's going to be like, and it ends up just being absolutely fantastic. So I hope you enjoy the video. It's too bright now for me. I could shoot some black and white, but I better get back up the road. I've been away for a good few hours now, so I better make my way back up the road. Good morning, and thanks for tuning back into the channel. Today we are going to be looking at focusing, and just one of the techniques that I use. There's many different ways of focusing. You could use hyperfocal distance, focus to infinity, focus a third of the way in, but there's lots of things that you've got to think about when you're doing these as well. But I'm just going to show you my way of focusing, which basically works for me, and that's it. So from behind me you can probably see that I'm down here. It's a lovely area, it's absolutely lovely area. It's Glentrool, and that's a small part of Glentrool, a small part in the loch, and we were down the other day there just looking around, and this area is really nice. So most of my shots from today are going to be from this area, which isn't too large an area considering the size of Glentrool. What I'm doing in the background here, you can see the trees. I'm trying to get these shots really quick because the light's changing. The light's going to come up, it's going to light more. But what I'm actually doing, I've got the camera set up, level and everything already set, and I'm focusing these trees in the distance. Now, what I don't need to worry about is the water, is the loch itself. I don't need to worry about the loch because the loch it's only a complement to what I'm actually focusing on, and what I'm focusing on is the trees in the background. So right now my camera is set at f11 40th of a second. So do I need f11? Well, considering I don't need anything in the foreground to be pin sharp, no. So I'm going to take this back down to f5.6. I'm now down at f5.6, 125th of a second according to the camera. Yep, ISO 200, because I'm not worried about this. It's just a complement to the main thing that's happening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you in a bit closer to let you see how I focus most of my images. Right, as you can see, everything's there, 125th of a second, f5.6, ISO 200. So what I normally do, I'll see if I can do this with one hand. I'll zoom in, that's my main area of focus, is that tree that's away down there. So what I normally do, if this will allow me to do it, is I zoom in, and then I've got the highlight peaking turned on, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it from this, but I've got highlight peaking turned on. So what I normally do is I'll take it out of focus for highlight peaking, and then bring it back in, and then take it back out. And just as it reaches the maximum, and it's just taking the time to get that. Once you're happy with it, timer on, take the shot. So what do you do if you want a few things in focus? Well, what I'm going to do with this image here, I am going to stop this right down to, I'm going to change my aperture to f4.7, and I'll put the image on screen after I do this, and I am going to focus solely on the rock. Put my timer on, always put my timer on, and then take the image. The grass in the foreground of this is going to be slightly softer than what I'm going to do next. And as you can guess, that's focus stacking. Compositionally, this is rubbish, but it's just to give you an idea of what to do. So I'm going to keep that as my first one as well. And this is f4.7. And then I am going to go in and I'm just going to focus once in the grass in the foreground. Take the shot. Now if I blend both of these together, I should have a sharp image throughout, except for the background, because I haven't bothered with the background, because there's nothing in the background. I want the foreground to be the main point of interest, the foreground and the rock to be the main point of interest. So I haven't really bothered focusing the background, and for this one, I'm not going to either. The light is that good just now. I'm just continually shooting, so I'll go over these later. And if you notice that the B-roll, the light in the B-roll is actually better than the light for the first couple of images, that's the reason. There's so much light here. Another way of focusing, if your camera has it, you can use back button focus. Now, if I'm shooting an aperture priority, most of the time I'll use back button focus, and even some of the landscapes as well. The technology in these nowadays is brilliant. If you want to nail it, manual focusing, but if you want to just use back button focusing, go for that as well. So I'm going to take this image. If I duck down here, I can see my shadow in the image. So I'm going to put a longer timer on this. And I'm going to put the 10-second timer on so that I can get out of the way. The camera's going to be in the shot, but that's fair enough. I can edit that out. So I've got 3 things here within this scene that I want all in sharp focus. Now I'm going to F9 here. And what I want to do, shutter speed's a 60th, ISO is 125. It's getting nice and bright now. You could probably do even this handheld, to be totally honest. But F9, ISO 125, 60th of a second. What I'm going to do is take 3 different shots, one in the small bush in the foreground, one in the rock, and one in the trees in the background. So my first one, I'm going to work from the bush to the rock to the tree. And this is back button focus. A couple other shots looking this way. It's just going to be a nice serene video. The water's quite still. It's very quiet at the moment. The road was treacherous on the way down. I was driving down at 15-20 mile an hour max because of the ice in the roads. So a couple of shots looking this way. There's a small island over there just been illuminated. I'm going to go and shoot that. This is what I've got just now. It's just absolutely gorgeous, perfect and still. Coming round here into the sun, nice reflections, and down there as well. It's just absolutely perfect morning. It just lets you see a couple of compositions just while I'm here as well. So it's absolutely brilliant, this. I couldn't have asked for a better morning for this. Well, I'm saying morning, it must be about 11 o'clock now, but just because the sun's that low, we can still get some lovely light. I'm going to shoot back down that way as well, which is round there. I'm going to shoot back down there as well because the light's on the trees even more now. So I'm going to get a couple more shots with that. And there's a gorgeous reflection. Don't know if you're able to see that in there. There's an absolutely gorgeous reflection. I'm going to see if I can get down to that. Oh, that's wonderful. Right. So I'm going to turn this off and get down and see if I can get that reflection. Sun is really bright now. Hopefully you got something from the different focusing techniques of today's video and what you should consider, what you want in focus, what you want to be a part of your composition as well. We didn't really delve into composition, but we looked at What do you want to be a part of it? What of that part of the composition do you want something to be in focus? And what do you not mind being out of focus? Nothing's perfect, and that's the good thing. Nothing's perfect. And if you don't get a sharp image front to back, but the composition works and you like it, that's the main thing. That is the main thing for photography. Now, there's so much down here. I'm coming back down here again. But I'm going to call it a morning. It's into early afternoon now. As you can tell, the sun is really, really bright. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump back in the car and I am going to head back home. Thanks again for watching. Hopefully you get something from it. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.